You are listening to the Advocates of Aging podcast. This podcast is produced by the ABA Commission on Law and Aging. Listen to hear interviews and stories on topics related to law and aging, including best practice tips for professionals and career advice. Age is not just a number, it is an opportunity for growth and fulfillment. These episodes will explore the hurdles people face when aging, as well as opportunities for improving advocacy and strengthening the legal rights of others.
Looks like we're recording. Okay. Hi, I'm Beth Russo with the American Bar Association's Commission on Law and Aging. You are listening to our Advocates of Aging podcast. Today, Erica and I have with us Jill Sauber, an attorney who is certified as an elder law attorney by the National Elder Law Foundation. She is the managing attorney of Sauber Legal Services in Minneapolis, Minnesota, where she focuses on estate planning, elder law, and related litigation. Her elder law practice includes special needs settlement planning, long-term care planning, Medicaid benefits, guardianship, conservatorship, asset protection, and veterans benefits as a VA-accredited attorney. Jill maintains her mortician license and practices in the niche area of mortuary law. Jill is a member of the Board of Trustees of the National Academy of Elder Law Attorneys Foundation, past president of the Minnesota NALA chapter, a life fellow of the American Bar Foundation, and an active member of several committees of the American Bar Association Senior Lawyers Division, including acting group director of the Elder Law Group and Elder Law Committee chair. She is a member/past treasurer of the Minnesota State Bar Association Elder Law Section Governing Council. And recently, Jill was appointed as a commissioner of the American Bar Association Commission on Law and Aging for a one-year term beginning in August of 2023. Welcome, Jill. I'm going to let Erica start with the first question.
Thank you so much for joining us today, Jill. So let's go ahead and have you tell us a little bit about yourself and your career. So how did you end up where you're at now?
Well, it's been a weird, wild ride. It wasn't something that I had planned on. I didn't, in my teen years or in high school or even college, think that I would become an attorney. It was not on my radar. In fact, I started my kind of professional career as a mortician here in the state of Minnesota. I always thought I'd be a surgeon, that I would go to medical school and I would do either surgery or forensic pathology. When I didn't get into medical school the first time around, I thought, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? I knew I could handle the grieving families and the bodies, right? The anatomy piece. So I became a mortician. And then while a mortician, I helped a lot of families pre-plan their funerals for medical assistance or Medicaid spend down reasons. So I kind of got a little look into this area of law and then discovered that elder law was its own practice area while I was in law school. So I've been doing elder law ever since I was in law school. I did the elder law clinic at my law school and opened my own elder law firm after a few years in practice at other firms in July 2019.
Great. And so how do you see your role in the context of the aging field?
Really, I see myself as a guide, assisting clients and their families to plan for disability, plan for incapacity, plan for death, but also just generally planning, including like taking a look at their whole lives, their financial situation, their medical situation, and organizing all of that in a meaningful way so that we have a plan in place if something happens. And I tend to look at myself more like a family lawyer in that I like to be the first call and maintain those relationships going forward. So I will often help not only the clients, but the parents, for instance, but also their children in the future. So my role is being that family attorney and the guide going through life's difficult transitions.
Thanks. It sounds like you've had a lot of different experiences within this field. So what's something that has surprised you the most about aging, either personally or professionally?
I think it just how it affects everyone. It doesn't matter how wealthy you are, how old you are. Really, the effects of aging or disability or incapacity affect all of us, whether directly or tangentially. And it's really been pretty eye-opening practicing in this area, just seeing how the domino effect affects other people in the family, for instance. Like, it's not just a parent-child relationship. You might have an aunt or an uncle or grandparent who's aging, and you have a grandchild coming up to be a caregiver, which can directly affect them. So I think that was probably one of the most surprising things to me, is just how much it affects every one of us.
And so what's something that you're working on right now that's exciting to you?
I like to keep my little grubbies in the funeral arena. So I still keep up my mortician license, and I still keep tabs on some of my old colleagues in funeral service. In fact, just met with one the other day. He happens to be the only dually licensed attorney mortician besides myself in the state of Minnesota. So we try to keep track of each other. So I've been kind of looking into some of the changes that are happening here in Minnesota and in funeral service generally. Like we're looking into human organic reduction here, which is like human composting. And just that's kind of exciting for me. It's a little different than my normal day-to-day, so I stay up on the funeral service stuff.
And what are you seeing as the most pertinent issues right now in the field of aging?
Well, I have my little kind of niche area of law, right? So the pertinent issues that I see, at least in my practice area, there's a big push to moving away from plenary or general guardianships. So a lot of us practitioners are looking at getting away from that blanket guardianship that basically takes away someone's individual rights and appoints somebody to step in and do all the things for them. I really appreciate that we're moving towards promoting self-determination. We want people to have as much say in their life and their decisions as possible. And this movement away from plenary guardianships allows the person to have a say. So we look at their individual situation. What do they need? What can they do on their own? What decisions can they make, even with supported decision makers in place? And let's just do the guardianship. Let's limit it as much as possible to promote that person's self-determination, allow them to have as much say as possible. Besides that, I think that there's been a real focus on exploitation and scams. Unfortunately, I'm seeing that a lot in my practice as well, but I think nationally, I just think it's happening more often. I think the scammers are getting more sophisticated. So that's a really pertinent issue. And we're seeing a lot of people dealing with exploitation, not only by family members, but other third parties, some of which are out of the United States, which makes it very difficult to track down and hold someone liable. And then elder abuse and other types of kind of exploitation as well. So those are the big ones that I've seen.
And do you have any words of wisdom for people who are interested in this field or new attorneys who want to go into this field?
Yeah, it's fascinating. And it doesn't matter what you want to do. If you want to be a lawyer and you want to advocate, or you want to litigate, or you don't want to litigate, it doesn't matter. Aging, elder law, the topics that you come across, the matters that you assist clients with really vary so greatly that, let's say you only want to do planning, you never want to step foot in a courtroom, and you only want to do administrative work and advocacy, you can do that in this area of law. So it's not just old people and nursing homes. It's not like it's not like Better Call Saul. Let's just put it that way. I don't just go to the nursing homes and play bingo and have coffee with people. I'm really making an impact, and I'm doing what I enjoy in a very challenging area of law. And I would encourage people to look into it if they're interested, because you can make it your own practice.
Well, those are some really great words of advice, and we really thank you for joining us today. If you're interested in further information on this or other topics, make sure you check out our podcast notes on our website. You can also listen to this and other episodes by visiting the ABA Commission on Law and Aging's YouTube channel. Remember to like and subscribe to be sure to get any updates. We look forward to having you join in our next episode. And in the meantime, please keep on advocating for the legal rights of all.